You know how people call something a love letter to 80s horror? Well, The Barn is less a love letter and more a crude crayon drawing stapled to Hitler's arse, while demanding you look at it and relive a bygone era of filmmaking trying to recreate films from the 1980s. I'll show you a part of the movie right now, just to prove my point.
Oh, hi kids! Great costumes!
Watch this woman looks mortified that she's in this movie. Look at her face, instant regret.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Alright then.
Anything, babe.
What's your whole take on Michelle and her virgin act?
It's no act. She's an honest-to-God good girl.
She's an honest-to-God good girl.
I think there's someone watching us.
Look at her, he doesn't. Look at him there. Look at how much he cares that he's been spied on.
You know, I bet it's Russell. Freaking pervert.
The passion.
Bet that hoser's been watching us the whole time.
Doesn't care.
Give me a sec, babe. I'm gonna go follow him and tell him something.
Yeah, just follow him and tell him something. Awful. Terrible. Terrible. That actually gave me HIV. Look, I do get it. For 80s, it was the golden era of horror, but you can't copy movies from that era when it comes to the visuals. From my perspective, they either look too crisp and clean, which is a terrible look, as I think horror should have a visual grit to it. But then on the other hand, they look like the filmmaker added an 80s TikTok filter to it, which to me simply doesn't do the trick. I genuinely believe that the script were less a finished screenplay and more a series of motivational sticky notes left in a refrigerator. The acting was delivered with the strange sincerity of a child lying about how much they like the sweater that their Aunt Sharon made him for Christmas. I do understand that there's limitations to low-budget films when it comes to acting, but surely you can find some people that within a low-budget movie that can actually act, and you can even just re-look at scenes and say, nah, we'll refilm that, especially if you're doing it with, because a lot of people make films with phones nowadays. You can just recut things as much as you damn well please without any costs. So with today's movies, I don't understand why you can get really bad scenes when people are acting, when it just looks completely wooden. I do not understand how this happens in film, and if you do, maybe you should look at it and think, well, maybe I shouldn't really be releasing this, should I? Because to me, this looks like one of those kinds of films that you'd make to outline that this is what you want to do with a bigger budget. It's the type of thing you'd go to an investor with and say, look, this is what I want to do, but I want to do it bigger. The best friend character, Sam, has obsessive rules for Halloween. He is the most exhausting protagonist in horror history. He's not quirky, he's a controlling, joy-sucking tyrant whose micromanagement is somehow less effective than the town's total lack of police. His main contribution to the plot is talking about law, right up until the point where the Candy Corn Scarecrow uses an ancient artifact, a fucking rake, to give him a non-fatal scalp wound. The first 2/3 of this movie are slower than a kid licking a window on a short bus. It's an endless series of scenes where characters drive around in a van, talk about the party they're not going to, and deliver exposition about the cursed barn they should have just driven past. It's like a horror movie where the scary part is realising how much of your life you just wasted waiting for a pumpkin man to show up. And speaking of the pumpkin man, it looks pretty cool. I love that you can see flames, in his eyes, but they look like something taken straight out of a Spirit Halloween store. They've just grabbed what they can from a store and just whipped them together. They don't look bad for what they are, but they still look cheap. And if you're going to say, yeah, that's because it's a low-budget film, thank you for proving my point. We also have the pleasure of seeing horror legend Linnea Quigley, but as you can see in this scene I'm about to show you, she can't be arsed to act.
Joshua Harper? You of all people? The son of a pastor to be celebrating Devil's Night. What would your father think if he were alive?
If my father was still alive, you wouldn't be trying to fill his shoes in his church.
Her bad acting may even come down to pay. You never know, it might, because it's that low budget, she might just think, I'm just going to act to what I'm paid. And we don't know that, do we? But she can act better than that. If you've seen any films with her in, she's not an amazing actor, or actress, whatever the fucking right term is. If you offend, you're offended. But, it is what it is. You can tell that these filmmakers do have a passion towards this project, but for me, movies set in the 1980s that are made today look cheap, as I know that it's simply an imitation of something that they very clearly love and have a passion for. But personally, it feels like a bunch of TikTokers made a movie simply because they could. I will give them credit where credit is due though, because I feel like some low-budget films they try to capture the Halloween feel, the fall feel, And with this, they actually, I believe that they do, and some don't. It looks way too cheap, but this does definitely have that feel to it. It isn't my cup of tea, but it seems to be most people's. People tend to love this film. You're wrong, though. Anyway, more power to you for enjoying it. And with that, my friends, that's all I've got for this week. If you made it through this video, well done you. You don't have the attention span of a TikTok viewer. Subscribe, join our damn cult and city.